summer course. So this session or this video lecture will be serving as a pre-lab discussion about gross examination. So we'll explore some of the steps in understanding how specimens are handled and prepared for microscopy. So imagine the surgical team doing their best and actively removing a tissue. This can be a tumor, organ, or just a segment for a biopsy. So that holds diagnostic evaluation. So once this is removed, the specimen, your role now comes into place. So the specimen will be sent directly to the pathology lab. So that's where the job begins of the histopath personnel. So what we do from that point onward will directly affect the accuracy of the diagnosis, treatment planning, and patient outcomes. So that's how important the histopath laboratory or the whole pathology lab is. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng gross examination? What is its importance? So once the specimen will reach the lab, it will go through cross-examination. So that's macroscopic inspection of tissue. So macroscopic meaning you will look at it with the naked eye, document yung appearance, ano yung size, shape, color, and consistency. So bakit natin yun gagawin? The goal is for the gross examiner to describe what they see and then select the most representative sections to submit for microscopic diagnosis. So in order for you to relate vaguely, when you do stool exam, you don't check the entirety of the stool sample, diba? You just choose parts of that specimen that might most represent the whole tissue or the um, status of the patient itself. So, ganun din sa gross examination, but more detailed and more anatomically related. So, you can see here, so that's histopath personnel holding this tissue and examining the organ. So, this can be performed by pathologists mostly, or they have trained lab professionals who will do the gross examination. And that impacts the whole process of tissue processing. Okay. So, ano ba yung first step in gross examination? So, you can see lab personnel doing something sa tissue. So, the first and crucial step is the specimen accessioning. So, before the actual grossing process will begin, every specimen must be accessioned. So, that means na you have to receive and check the specimen, and then you will log it in the LIS or the laboratory information system if the laboratory has one. And you have to assign a unique barcode and case number for each specimen. So that will label all the materials so that to maintain identity. So from the gross organ to the slide, dapat may label. Hindi pwedeng walang label. So proper accessioning will ensure that these specimens are never mixed up, especially when we are dealing with multiple patients. So imagine mga 50 patients to 100 patients na nakapahistopath exam na. So you have to make sure that they are labeled properly. Kasi yung mapaface nyo lang organs na and slides. So what is the core of this lab? First step in tissue processing, you have to make sure that you were able to verify and label the specimen and then enter that into the LIS. So this one is actually not an organ. For example lang, you have to make sure na tama yung specimen na receive mo, tama yung label. So nakalagay dyan, bullet. So that's actually bullet. Tapos kung saan galing daw, sa small bowel. So that's for another department of the laboratory. So you get the gist. Next, so you have to make sure that there is a proper gross description guidelines in terms of specimen receiving, acceptance, and yung rejection. So in any part of the laboratory, whether histopath man or hindi, you have to make sure na proper yung request, yung specimen label, and the specimen itself. So make sure na walang discrepancies. So kasama yung discrepancies between the request, the specimen label. Halimbawa, binigyan kayo ng request, ang nakalagay ay prostate. Tapos ang nakalagay din ay prostate, pero yung specimen na nandoon ay appendix. So that's a criteria for rejection. And bawal yung walang label. Hindi pwedeng walang label. Dapat clearly defined kung ano yung na-receive mo and na yung expectation mo. Bawal din yung leaking specimen. Walang clinical data or history. So if you will rotate in the histopath lab, or you will be sent to receive a specimen from a different department, hindi lang yan siya basta request na prostate with the name of the patient. Nakalagay din doon na 1 year prior to surgical removal, the patient had chemotherapy. Parang ganun. So kasama yung clinical data and history of the patient kasi that's an important aspect in examining the tissue, gross man or microscopically, and inappropriately identified specimen. Halimbawa, wala lang si M. Lulu or si M. Wu. Hindi yun pwede na ganyan lang yung specimen label. Dapat clear and properly identified. But take note, in the histopath laboratory, when you are receiving tissues, you don't just reject specimen. You have to make sure na you have called the sending department regarding the current specimen na na-receive niyo sa lab. And then, if they will vouch na, ay, na mali lang po yung label, ito po talaga yung organ, ganyan. They have to create a paper or a document stating na sila yung nagva-vouch or nagwa-waive na mali lang nila, and they will still proceed with the histopath laboratory process. But again, that is subjected to the own protocols or standard operating procedures of the histopath laboratory. Basta alam nyo, kapag may discrepancy, kapag walang label, pag nag-leak yung specimen, hindi proper yung data, and inappropriately identified. You have to note that and then call the sending department na, ma'am, parang meron po yatang mali. Okay. So, gross examination, or sometimes we refer that as grossing. So that is a process by which the pathology specimens are inspected macroscopically so that we will obtain proper diagnostic information. So halimbawa, this one, kunwari uterus, tapos examine yung fallopian, grossly examining part of the fallopian tube ba, ganyan. So you have to select relevant portions for subsequent microscopic examination. Tapos yung mga na-select, ilalagay na ngayon sa cassette. Tapos ito na yung isa-submerge sa different levels of tissue processing. Okay, so the diagnosis on basis of the gross examination can be accurately done and results to two endpoints. Yung gross description or macroscopic examination of the organ and the tissue blocks itself. So ano yung proper guidelines? So tingnan mo na ano yung components ng na-receive. And then you have to make sure that you use objective language in describing the tissue, like in terms of color, kung white ba, hindi pwede tayong gagamit ng mga personal adjectives. And you have to include the dimensions, weight, and shape. So ganito, look at this breast. Kunwari ito daw yung size ng mga surgeons kanina. Tapos ito na ngayon yung dadating sa laboratory. So you have to make sure na tama yung description and tama yung paper or documented properly yung organ na na-receive. So when you do gross examination, these are the general guidelines. So you have to observe tissue or orient the tissue anatomically. So meaning you have to identify the top, bottom, front, back, and the margin so that you can allow proper correlation in the image and the surgical notes. Next, you have to observe external features. So, tingnan kung may kasama bang tumors, ano ba yung surgical margin, may nakita bang ulcer or other lesions that are related to the organ and the margins of that organ. Next, you have to objectively describe the color, consistency, and texture. So, pwede kang gumamit ng description like the tissue is firm, the tissue is smooth, the tissue is hemorrhagic, so meaning maraming blood, the tissue is weird. Okay, so hindi pwedeng ganun. Dapat objective yung description. And mostly, we measure it in centimeters. But if small yung specimen, nagamit tayo ng millimeter. So you have to note ano yung precise dimensions of the specimen and yung mga abnormalities dapat properly recorded. So this standard approach will help ensure yung proper communication between the pathologist and the surgeon, and it avoids errors in diagnosis. So ano pa yung important steps in cross-examination? So have to take note na in the actual procedure, the cross-examination is the first step in histopathologic diagnosis. So ano yung mga kailangan natin? Scissors, forceps, blade holders, blades, and these should be clean to avoid contamination. Kasi pwedeng mag-reflect yan sa slide if may mga contaminants. And properly use kung ano yung type of disposal container. Kung sharp ba, or may mga chemical ba involved. So, you have to take note of that as well. So this is an example of an organ for cross-examination. So you have to take note anong organ and dapat may laterality. So ovary. Tapos meron left. So you know na this is a left ovary. Tapos may proper description. Nakalagay 2 by 5 by 3 centimeters. So take note, centimeter tayo kasi hindi naman very small si ovary. And third, nakanote kayo ano yung accompanying structure with the ovary. So may nakitang small, protuberant, solid area with cystic teratoma. So this is the teratoma. So that is an abnormal growth. And cystic siya. So that's another description, meaning fluid-filled yung specimen. Hindi siya solid na compact with actual tissue parts. So fluid siya, kaya cystic. And this is just teratoma. So example niyan yung abnormal mass of reproductive tumor na may extra growth of hair, minsan may ngipin, minsan may mga skin contents. So that's teratoma. So dinescribe yun, kasama siya nung left ovary pagpasa sa histopath laboratory. Again, confirm identity and make sure na tama yung specimen identification and specimen na na-receive nyo. Okay, tissue blocks. So these are the endpoint na preserved specimen after performing the tissue preparation. So ito na yung parang stock tissue na preserve nyo. Tapos ito na yung gagamitin for microtomy kung saan gagawa na ng slides. So dapat may proper label. Kung ano yung label ng organ, yun din yung label ng tissue block, yun din yung magiging label ng slide. So you can refer to the different practices kung saan kayong laboratory na assigned and yun yung susundin na proper labeling. So halimbawa, nakuha yung specimen this year. So mostly meron yung kasamang year. So specimen 2025-001A. So meaning siya yung first specimen na na-obtain this 2025. So that's usually the practice. And the specimen number is the most precise way to refer to the specimen. So pagka ginagawang cases yan, yan yung nire-request ng clinicians. Specimen number SP 2025-001A for rechecking. Ganun. So yan yung tinatawag natin minsan na accession number. Okay, what are the different procedures? So again, identify the type of specimen. Next, what structure? Tapos, ano yung mga dimensions? Ano yung weight? Ano yung shape? So, color, consistency, and surgical margin. So, kasama yan siya sa kailangan i-take note during gross examination procedure. So, halimbawa, ito ay palagay natin na breast mass. So, kailangan nyo identify ano yung kasama ng breast mass pagdating sa histopath laboratory. So, ano ibig sabihin first ng type of specimen? So, nakuha ba siya through a biopsy? Excisional specimen ba siya? For example, part of the organ or the whole organ itself? Soft tissue mass ba siya or bone? So, somehow, that sets the context of the specimen. Structure. So you have to describe the anatomical structure. Halimbawa, breast ito. So you have to take note, breast tissue without nipple or segment of the colon. So that's structure. Dimension. So yan na yung length times width times height. So you have to use centimeters for the general organs and millimeters for smaller samples. Weight. Why do we need to weigh? So halimbawa, meron kayong receive na uterus. So it helps assess kung lumaki ba yung organ or lumiit. So the weight of the specimen can correlate kung nagkaroon ba ng hypertrophy, meaning lumaki, or atrophy, meaning lumiit. Shape, so tingnan mo kung round ba, irregular, tubular like this, or sometimes may mga hint na yan pagdating sa microscopic exam. Color, so you have to take note, is this pale yellow, gray to white, hemorrhagic ba, kung may mga blood, necrotic ba, meaning looking dead yung tissue, or black. So it helps indicate kung ano yung nangyari sa organ when you take note of the color. So consistency. Can you check the consistency by just looking at the organ? Of course, hindi. So you have to touch the specimen with proper PPE and then describe the texture. So pag touch nyo, firm ba siya? Soft? O nagkakaroon ba ng indentation pag ipipress? Rubbery? Gritty? Soft? Gelatinous? Calcified? Gano'n. So you have to Take note of the consistency and surgical margin. So these are important. You have to determine kung kasama ba yung surgical margin and assess the status. So titingnan kung meron bang extra normal tissue na kasama or just yung tumor lang. So that's also part. So you can use this checklist to help ensure kung tama ba yung grossing na nagawa sa specimen and properly documented. So take note when the lab personnel or the pathologists do the gross examination procedure, they record that properly with recording devices. Or if hindi afford ng lab, so while nagsusulat siya, while nag-gross exam siya, um, merong additional staff na nagre-record kung ano yung sinulat niya. So minsan yun yung role ng mga medtech interns. So kayo yung tigsulat sa sinasabi ni pathologist. So if walang recorder. Okay. So this is another slide focusing on the tissue orientation. So you have to orient the organ in its original anatomic position. So take note nyo yun, kung saan ba yung superior na part, saan ba yung proximal, distal. So you have to take note of that para na-imagine ng nag-a-analyze microscopically kung ano yung tinitingnan niya. So again, take note for tumors, nodes, and resection margins like this one. So describe the tissue in general, kung ano yung shape niya. So halimbawa, this one is circular, irregular. Color niya medyo tan to dark brown on the periphery. Tapos with resection margin na pale white. So, kung consistency niya, halimbawa pag-touch nyo, medyo hard, so take note. And pag-check sa texture, medyo rough, so you have to take note. Okay, measure the length in terms of centimeters. And this is an example of inking. So, lalagyan ng ink yung certain parts of the specimen. And you have to take note of that in the gross examination. Halimbawa, yung lateral side of the ovary was inked with red and yung medial side ay inked with yellow. So that the microscopist will understand while saan siya kinuha na part yung slide na nakikita niya under the microscope. Okay, reminders. It's usually given in centimeter yung measurement, millimeter if medyo small, halimbawa fallopian tube or mga fetus, ganon. Endometrial and prostatic tissues should be measured by aggregate pieces in volume. So bakit? Kasi wala silang isang size. So imagine nyo if nakakita na ba kayo ng bopis but more gritty. So parang ganan yung itsura ng mga endometrial and prostatic tissues. So you have to measure them by aggregate pieces in volume. And the tissue submitted for histopath dapat not more than 3 millimeters thick and not larger than diameter of the slide used. Kasi syempre, paano nyo naman titingnan yun sa slide kung lampas, di ba? And most specimens from solid tissues are cut measuring 10 to 15 millimeter on the slide, pero yung thickness niya 2 to 3 millimeter lang dapat para clear siya and hindi overlapping yung layers of cells under the microscope. So if there are discrete areas of calcification and ossification, meaning na-form yung bone, dapat siyang tanggalin. And will undergo the decalcification process, which you will learn on the next videos. And again, small fragments of tissue will be wrapped in thin paper. Minsan, ang ginagamit ay filter paper or special paper to cover that fragments of tissue kasi baka lumabas doon sa cassette. Okay, so take note that every type of tissue or organ has its own grossing procedure. So iba yung preparation for the colon or hollow organs, iba din yung preparation for the breast. So that follows kasi iba yung characteristic nila as organs. So iba yung pag-analyze or pag-describe ng gross examination. Okay, so these are the materials that you will need. So familiarize your self with the materials. So meron kayong knife, mga scissors, cassettes in different sizes, ruler, most appeal sa pinaka-important, scalpels, and tissue forceps. Okay, so in the laboratory areas, so you have to take note kung saan yung stations na safe mag-perform ng gross examination. And again, take note of the patient history, orientation. You can use the description LL for long lateral and SS for short superior. But of course, depende yan sa protocol ng histopath laboratory. So meron tayong specific na guidelines in gross description. So halimbawa, these organs are just for gross descriptions only. Inguinal hernia, nasak sa adults, nasal bone, or cartilage from rhinoplasty. So you just have to perform gross descriptions on them. So ito yung list of organs that you just do gross description. Hindi kailangan ng extensive pathology processing. Meron din naman tayong specimens that are exempted from mandatory submission. So, lahat ng tinatanggal na organ or part of the body sa surgical floor, kailangan meron yung katumbas na histopath paper except for these specimens. So, bone na denonate sa bone bank, bone segments as part of corrective or reconstructive orthopedic procedure. So, hindi kailangan na may histopath result for that. Cataracts, mga dental appliance, yung fat. So, hindi natin yun kailangan i-histopath na yung mga fat na na-remove from liposuction, ganun. Foreskin, di ba? Hindi naman to hinistopath. But for the rest of the organs, halimbawa, appendix, so tinanggal, so kailangan meron siyang histopath result. Okay. So, list of certain procedures, overview lang tayo. Histopathologic handling of tissue. So, di ba kailangan natin i-take note kung anong type of specimen. So, kinuha ba through core biopsy? And how do we section this? Usually, ini-embed natin siya longitudinally to maximize tissue sectioning. Kasi ano ba yung core biopsy? May organ, tapos merong certain mass dyan. Mag-insert kayo ng biopsy needle, tapos kukunin yung some part of that mass. So, minsan, iba't ibang part of that core of the mass will be placed in different cassettes for different analysis. Meron din tayong tinatawag na skin biopsy. So, merong punch or shave biopsy. So, pag punch biopsy, para ka lang nag-punch talaga. Tapos, that will now be mounted on edge for layered tissue view. So, makikita nyo yung layers sa epidermis, dermis, hypodermis, o ganyan. So, you have to use orientation aids to make the pathologist review the slide properly. So, if large yung resection, you have to take note na kailangan naka-serial siya. So, transverse section part 1, part 2, part 3, ganun. So that merong proper lesion characterization. Pag very large resection, pinipicturan and nagkakaroon ng extensive sampling for skin biopsies. Bawal specimen, so usually ito yung mga malalaki. So meron kayong multiple tissue blocks from lesion pa lang and the surrounding area. So titingnan din yung take note of this. So halimbawa naka-receive ng colon, so tapos may nakitang lymph node. So kasama siya isang separate na tissue block din yan. And gumagamit ng fat clearance protocol. So tatanggalin yung fat, so iba yung pag-process doon. So that's for bowel specimens. So ganito ang itsura ni hollow organ. So you have to do fat clearance doon sa mesenteric fat na nakasama ni colon. Tapos kasi 'di ba masyadong malaki, so you have to get several parts of the organ. So minsan sa isang specimen merong 20 tissue blocks. So that can happen kasi para merong proper picture yung bowel specimen microscopically. Lung tissues, kasama na dun yung biopsies or the entire lobe. So, they are usually sampled in groups and you have to take note of the description of the lung tissue. So, minsan, nilulubog pa yan sa water to check if kung filled ba siya with air or not to determine kung anong phase of lung health yung na-receive sa lab. Minsan, not all the time. Okay. Gynecologic specimen, so you have to take note kung cone biopsy ba siya, so meaning some part of that gynecologic tissue, kung entire uterus ba siya, kasama ba yung cervix, ovaries ba, and fallopian tubes. But take note, itong fallopian tube ay usually part of the uterus. Hindi siya lumalabas na siya lang unless ectopic pregnancy. Tumors found in gynecologic specimen. Breast resection, so yung inking ay important for margin orientation. So yung nakita niyong breast kanina, so you have to take note kung ano ba yung laterality, kung left-right, kung medial part ba of the breast, lateral part of the breast ba, superior, inferior, ganun. So you have to take note of that if you're gonna do the gross examination. Tapos kasama yung lymph nodes if merong nakita doon sa breast sample. Soft tissue resection, ang usual ginagamit natin, 1 block per 10 millimeter of tumor. So it can reach up to 10 blocks. So gumagawa ng pre-fixation sampling for soft tissues when we want to analyze them molecularly or genetically through histochemical staining. And sectioning procedure, if you will be the one doing the sectioning, so you can cut a 1 centimeter thick, so we call that also sometimes bread loafing, and you open muna yung hollow organs before you perform gross examination or sectioning. So for example, yung colon, hahatian mo na siya into to expose the hollow part, ma-expose yung inner surface, and you have to identify mga tumor location, size, margins, and lymph nodes. And what is the standard size for cassette 3 by 2.5 by 0.4 centimeters, and you use pencil to label accession number. Okay, another important guidelines in sectioning for some organs. So kung lymph node, they are sent fresh for cytometry if kailangan, and they are important for cancer staging. So yung kung saan banda nakita yung lymph node, so kasama siya sa description during gross examination. And dermatologic specimen, kailangan vertical yung orientation para makita yung layers of the skin. And it can be submitted as a whole if maliit lang, or in serial cuts if large yung resected part of the skin. And these are some samples for colon and prostate and breast na cancer specimen. So colon CA, usually submit 1 section per centimeter of tumor. So breast cancer, usually 2 to 3 centimeter ink margins, and you have to describe yung pag-cut, the way na na-present yung cut surface. Prostate CA, so you have to submit multiple cuts for clarity. So that's basic specimen sectioning guidelines for these cancer specimens. So that's all for the cross-examination pre-lab discussion, and